Hi everyone. Tonight I'm here with Brenda Hamming, and we're going to be talking to Brenda about her situation and getting through bowel cancer. So, alright, so we've attempted this show once and we had no sound, so we're just starting again, and hopefully you guys out there can let us know if we've got the sound. So, alright, so we'll start from the beginning, and here we are. I spoke about the government and how they've actually given the bowel cancer test kits out.
Yes.
And I also confess that I was one in the very beginning that didn't do anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I thought, well, that's pretty bad, isn't it? Especially after, like, knowing you, meeting you, hearing your story and thinking to myself, you know, that was a really terrible thing that I did. But you actually said you had that test kit to do as well. You did the test, and how did that come back to you?
I did not hear.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all.
So never ever heard anything?
Never ever heard anything, and yes, and lots of people have had that test with the government one.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people possibly did not do it because they do not want to be fishing around in a toilet bowl, picking up their poo and smearing it on a little sample and posting it away. But no, I never heard...
There's certainly a stigma attached to that,
There is a
isn't
stigma attached because it's poo.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems nobody wants to talk about it because it's poo. You know, it's just... Yes.
But still, it's cancer is cancer.
It's cancer
no
is
matter where
cancer,
it is.
and it doesn't... It is. Exactly.
So then, so what happened? What, did you have symptoms, or you feel unwell, or?
No, I didn't. I was healthy as a mallee bull.
Yes.
Very healthy, always fit, ate well. But my bowel motions were a bit... I'm sorry if you guys are eating out there, but...
Yeah,
Sorry.
Put on silent. That's what did. We actually jinxed ourselves.
We did. It's about your bowel movements. I had no blood, no showing blood on my stools, but the bowel movements were loose. So I thought, this is not good. So I went to my GP, and he said, question what food I ate, because I love spicy food, you know. And he said, maybe it's the spicy food. Cut that all out. Come back in a month, and we'll see whether that's what it is. Well,
so should someone be like getting, or at least going and seeing their doctor if that sort of situation continues?
Yes.
That is a part of it, is it?
Yes,
Like,
don't think it's just diarrhea.
Yes.
I mean, just because it's diarrhea, you might think it's diarrhea, but it might not be. But you might go to the doctor and it is diarrhea, but it's best to be
safe.
Exactly. And he has a chart, and on that chart he has different pictures of your stool movements, and you go, no, it's not that one, it's not that, oh my God, it's that one. So then they take it from there, and then they just refer you to someone else, which I did.
Specialist?
The specialist. And the specialist looks more into it and just says, yes.
We need to do something about it, or we need to investigate.
We need to investigate it further.
So you've gone to hospital for the investigation?
Yes.
And so you've had that investigation,
yes.
And what, was that an overnight stay or a day?
It was only going to be sort of a week stay, and I'm thinking this is going to be easy, a week in.
For a week?
Yeah, week in.
So you have a week for... Which investigation?
Yeah, to have a proper go under general anaesthetic.
Yeah.
And I thought this is going to be easy, just a week in hospital. So, oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was 3 months.
So you've had that test.
Yes.
You told me earlier about how the surgeons come around to talk to everyone.
Yes.
So paint that picture for us. So you're all in your beds and waiting for the surgeon to give you the okay.
Yes, because you get a nice cup of tea and a sandwich, and he's skirting around, you know, so he's talking to everybody. Then I'm thinking, oh, I'm next, I can go. I'll see you a little bit late. I'll see you in a minute. So he walks around, he forgets, doesn't forget, but he sees other people. Then he comes back to me and he sits down, and he said, it's not good. We could not get the camera any further. There was an obstruction in your bowel.
Oh dear.
So we could only go so many centimetres.
So then they took a piece of the bowel then, did they? Or you've gone back for surgery after
Then
that?
I had to go back and see somebody else,
yep.
another surgeon, because they only do a day, then you go back to see someone else, and they do further investigation, ask you all the questions, is there bowel cancer in the family?
Did you have bowel cancer
No,
in the family?
The family had bowel cancer, so goodness me, I don't know how that happened. So you do all the tests, you go to the hospital, they do the test, and then they say, right, we're going to put you under and we're going to have a look what's there. Because there's definitely something that's stopping the bowel movements properly, proper bowel movements.
Okay, so then you've gone to hospital
Mm-hmm.
and you've had surgery.
I've had surgery.
So they just take a piece of your bowel, is that what they do?
Yes, they took.
Where the obstruction is. So
Where the cancer was.
Yeah.
So they've sort of taken that, come back, everything was good. You could probably go home at the end of the week, but then all the just problems happened. It was just seemed to be problem after problem after problem.
Like what happened to you?
I had like a bleed. I had sicknesses with it. Just everything.
Infection.
Infection. Just the whole shit. My dossier was that thick apparently, and then you just have rehabilitation, and it's really hard. It was very hard.
So you're in there for 3 months.
3 months, and that last operation, I remember I was feeling sick, probably 3 or 4 days whilst I was in hospital, and I said to the nurse, I don't feel good. I keep breaking out in a sweat. Why is it so? And she'd run out with a trolley, put the thermometer in your ear, and no, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong. But why am I so sweaty? There's nothing wrong with you. So I think this went on for 3 or 4 days. Nothing. And in the end, they just rolled their eyes, going. Rolled my eyes. And I said, I still don't feel good. Anyway, that was all right. And then that night, I was sick. I just vomited everywhere, and it was brown. And I remember the male nurse came in, and so I rang the buzzer and I said, oh my God, I feel so much better now. And he said, what do you mean? And he took one look at me and he said, this is not good. I said, what do you mean? I said, I feel wonderful now. He said, this is not good. So he got the emergency doctor, and yes, apparently it's when your bowel bursts inside and all your poo.
Oh dear.
Yes, and apparently you don't survive that.
Oh my goodness.
So it was just the poo, the poo. So they took me down, wheeled me down for emergency thingy, and I remember my surgeon coming down and he rubbed my leg. And the nurses were very, very good. Sorry, and they wouldn't tell me what was going on. I suppose they didn't want to get me too, trying to keep me calm. And major surgery. Ended up with a bag. So it's never to be reversed. I thought it could have been reversed and go back to normal, but no, it's too much damage. I had to do more surgery to sew it back up together again because it was leaking. And so now I have a bag.
So what do they call it? Colostomy bag?
A colostomy bag.
Right. And how does that work? Because, I mean, I'm fascinated by this, that we can do this to the human body, that we have these answers to be able to keep you alive and keep you with us on this earth. So if it means that you have to wear a bag, so it's a little thing that attaches.
It's like they pull your bowel through. So I've got a little red, like my bowel sticks out. I call it like a little penis, actually. Because it goes hard, when it's finished it goes soft. So I have a male penis. So when it's active, it's quite rigid, and it just runs out into the bowel, into the bag.
Yeah.
Then you can put a new bag on.
So is that do you have to do that daily?
Daily, 3 or 4 times a day, change a bag.
Okay,
yes.
So do you have to watch what you eat and all that sort of thing?
Well, when I first came out, yes, it was very careful eating cabbage or anything that was windy food, anything that was too fibrous, because you don't want a block bowel.
No.
So anything that was fibrous, so it was really trial by error.
Yes.
You eat something, you think, that's not good. So I sort of know what I can eat and what I can't eat. I used to like my veggies on the crunchy side. I can't have that anymore because that affects poor old Stomey.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, Stomey doesn't like that.
Oh. Can you have chilli and all that sort of curries?
I can have curries, but not hot, just mild now. Sweet chilli sauce, mild. Everything mild.
Yeah, so everything in moderation.
Everything in moderation, yes.
Taste of it, but everything in moderation.
Yes.
So, how often, do you have to go back and get this checked all the time, or?
Every 3 months I have to have the cancer blood test, cancer markers, which I do every 3 months. And then you go to your stoma nurse and she checks out your stoma that it hasn't got grown fatter, or we need another.
So what's the stoma?
That's the little red...
Right, the little penis thing.
Penis thing. Yeah. Yes.
Stoma.
Stoma. I call it Stomey. It has a name.
Okay.
Most colostomies everybody gives them a name. I
Yeah.
just call it stomy.
Yeah.
So you just go back and have it checked out. You have your bag. And I mean, I know when I came out of hospital, I couldn't even accept it. Could not accept this hideous thing poking out of my stomach and a bag hanging down. It was just, I felt unsexy. I felt,
Were you in a relationship then?
yes, yes.
Okay.
And I just felt, I don't know, it's just awful, this thing hanging down. And it just changed my whole life. I think, no, I don't feel sexy. I feel yuck. I've got this poop bag that hangs down. So it took me, the nurses to come around and change it and do it, and I just couldn't even look at it. I was just mortified. So your whole dress changes. You cannot wear hipster jeans anymore because when the bag, I'm sorry if I say this, but when the bag farts, when Stomy farts, the bag blows up, so you have this bulge. So you can't wear hipster jeans, you have to wear a bit higher.
And how big is it? Like as big as the...
The bag?
Yeah.
It's about, I should have bought one out, the bag's about that big.
Okay, all right.
And it just sort of sits here, clips on a base pad, and it sits.
So it's attached to your
attached to
body,
my stomach, yes, and it just hangs. Yes, it's not nice, and there are days where...
But without it, you wouldn't be here.
Without it, I wouldn't be here, and like I said, in the end, I accepted. I went, Brendy, for God's sake, snap out of it.
Yeah, you have to.
I have to snap out of it, deal with it. There are people worse off than you.
Especially like, I know it'd be the same for a male, but I would think as a female, like you say, like that, that sexy woe is me kind of...
Well, it was.
thing.
It was, yes, I sort of felt sorry for myself.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this is going to change my whole life. It's going to be this, that. I can't wear that anymore. But you know what? You adapt. All of a sudden, you think, no, well, I can wear a looser dress. I don't need to wear skin-tight tops, looser tops around. And that's how I cope. It can be embarrassing. You can be out for dinner and Stomy might think, this is a good time to fart. And let it rip. And you can be sitting there and I've gone, oh. And everybody's looking and I'm going...
Because you can't control it.
I cannot control it.
Yeah.
No, I cannot
If it happens,
control
it happens, and that's all
it
there is
happens.
to
It
it,
happens,
yeah.
and I know some people give me a filthy look, and I just go like
Well,
that.
I mean, if somebody doesn't know what's happening,
No.
I can imagine if you, I can just imagine if you're out at a restaurant or
What's that?
something,
And it's not soft.
and next,
it is not soft. It reminds me
it's
of,
got a bit of volume,
it
right?
has. It reminds me of my mother when she used to walk. When you get old, they'd pass the wind. That's what it reminds me of when you walk.
So have you ever had anyone ever had anyone say anything to you that was upsetting about it? Like if you're out and then it decides to let the wind go. So
Well,
to
I think
speak.
everybody's too probably gobsmacked, and they just look at you. What can they say? They can't say, "Did you fart?"
Yeah, and they wouldn't know your
wouldn't.
situation.
They
like
wouldn't.
that-
But I know my grandson thinks it's wonderful. They wish they had one to be able to do it and get away with it. But yes, it does have its embarrassing moments. Yes.
Oh dear.
And going to the loo when your bag is full, you need to go now, not in 5 minutes, because I've had a couple of mishaps. Not now because I've mastered it, but you do have mishaps where the bag can actually, the seal
Burst.
around your bag can burst, and you end up in a horrible mess. So then you either got to get to a...
Have you been out when that's happened?
Yes,
like out in public?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
And it
dear.
was absolutely dreadful trying to find a loo where you could actually wash yourself.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too, like being in
Yes.
that situation.
Yes.
What do you do in that situation?
And I used to always carry a spare set of undies and always carry my medical stuff with me for those emergencies. It hasn't happened. Like I said, I've mastered it now. But for all those ones that are still trying to cope and it happens, it is most embarrassing. It is a horrible smell, and you're trying to go somewhere where you can change yourself. And the only places you can go is into a mother's change room, a baby's room. And
not everyone has those.
no, and I went into one, and one lady really was not happy, and I said, I'm just so sorry. I need to go here. I have a stomy that's had a terrible accident, which she never knew anything about, didn't know what I was on about. But it is very hard to...
So is she fine after you?
Yeah, when I explained it, yeah.
Well, that's good. Like that's a wonderful thing.
Yes, so I really think maybe we need special amenities just for those sort of people, where you can go in with your wash basin in the loo, where you can change yourself, wash it and refresh it and put a new base and bag on.
Do you know what the statistics are like?
No, I don't. I would imagine it is quite common with the bag doing that.
Now, because they tend to do it more often, don't they?
Yes, yes. I mean, I used to love to have a drink, but now I can't drink that much anymore because it interferes with Stomey, and Stomey lets me know, I'm telling you. It objects, so you think it's not worth the goddamn hassle.
So your life's changed in a whole variety of ways.
It has changed in many, many ways,
Yeah,
yes.
so one is your eating.
Yes.
And two is your dressing, like
Yes,
the way
yes.
that you dress.
Yes.
And three is the psychological.
The psychological thing, like I said, you know, you've got this thing hanging off. I mean, like, you stand in the mirror naked and all you see is this bag hanging off your stomach, and you go, oh my God, nobody wants to see that. So I sort of a bit more self-conscious of wearing. Gone are the sexy knickers, because you can't wear little lacy ones, you've got to find high ones. And I mean, are there any nice knickers out there for that type of thing? No. And if you buy the Stoma products, they're atrocious, just like Bond's cottontails.
Well, hang on, we won't.
Oh,
kind
sorry.
of rubbish.
No, but
That
Bond's
brand
cottontails are very nice.
Yeah,
though.
we love Bonds.
We do love Bonds. I just wish Bonds would make them.
Oh, there you go. You
lacy.
never know. Well, you never know who might be
Yes.
out there listening to this. It might be some designer, underwear designer,
But
that now wants to look at situations like this and what can we do to...
Yes, and
you
they
know,
have to come up to here, because otherwise if they only come up to here, you have that bulge happening.
Yeah, yeah. So, and I asked you previously about, were you in a relationship when all this happened?
Yes, I was, yes.
So how did that affect that relationship, like with your partner in that regard?
I think it's probably affected me more so, because I don't want him to see me with this hanging.
So is that what you've done? Have you like protected that image?
I have protected that image subconsciously. Yes, I have. I don't mean to, but I know I have.
Yeah. So that's your way of being comfortable in a situation.
Exactly. And even, you know, when you'd go out with the girls and you'd run from the bathroom, I even don't like doing that, because I think, no, nobody wants to see that. So possibly, yes, it has.
So, and what about your family and all that? Obviously, that whole situation would have taken a lot out of
It did.
them. Like, you know, the fact that they thought they were going to lose you, and then suddenly something else has happened, and they've found a way of, you know, getting you well, and then you got the infection, and then you're back in hospital again, and that, I mean, that was atrocious, that infection, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
Because that was was that the infection that you had, like, in the bag, like itself?
No, inside, yeah.
Inside,
yes,
okay, inside.
yes.
So you got through that. So how long was the whole process? From the time you went to that doctor to the time you had the last operation?
3 months. 3 months I went in October the 31st for the operation, October the 13th for the operation, and I came out 3 days before Christmas.
Well, what a good Christmas present though for everyone.
Exactly. I mean, it did, my family did sort of suffer. They didn't know what was going on. They were very strong and they were very supportive, as were all my friends, very supportive. And I always say to people, when people are in hospital, visit, whether it's only for 5 minutes, 3 minutes or a second. Even though that, you know, you can be dozing and you'd wake up, it's the fact that there is someone there that's actually came in to spend that 5-10 minutes to visit with you. And I think having people come in helped me through my healing and getting back onto my feet.
Yeah, because it can be a very lonely situation.
It can.
And I mean, even though you say, like, you're in hospital and, you know, people do visit, because of course your family do, and your dear friends, but, you know, there's nothing worse than being in hospital and not having a visitor. Like, I've seen people
And it is.
in the same room with me, and I've lost track of how many people have come and gone, but then I've looked over and I've remembered that this person has not had a visitor for 2 days.
And it's terrible, because the nurse used to say to me, you take out the record for the most visitors.
That'd be right.
But it was lovely. I mean, sometimes I was dozing in and out of sleep, and I'd grab their hand, they said, we won't go. So they stayed with me and, you know, propped me up with my pillows and rubbed my back and brought in food, and it was just that lovely connection with friends. And then your whole life, you know, you have so much time in hospital when you have no visitors that you start to think and you go, that expensive teacup I had, it's only, what is it? It's
materialistic.
It's materialistic.
That was my next thing I was going to say.
Yes.
From this experience, like, what is the one thing that sticks in your mind? Like you're saying about material things not meaning as much, but what's the one thing that you think has changed? Like, how have you changed your way of thinking? What's the one thing that where you've changed? Like, you know, now with belongings and stuff like that. Do they, you know, do they mean less to you now because of
they do.
Life's far more important?
Yes, they do. I call it stuff, and I just get rid of stuff. I don't need it. It's just stuff. It's dust collectors. You just don't need it. There are more important things in life. It's your friends, not all those little nicky-nackies and a book that might be worth 2,000 or an ornament that might be worth, you know. It means nothing.
That's right. It
means nothing. It's the friendship. It's the people calling around. It's having someone there that when you're feeling down, they're going to pick you up. You want to have a cry, you know you can, because that person fully understands where you're at. And I think so many people with cancer, we all need support, every one of us. We might all look good facially, but inside there's something going on. Yes, I have good days and I have bad days. And then I snap out of it and go, it's all right.
But it still affects you. I mean,
It
it's got
still
to affect you
affects
because you're
you.
living with it every single day.
And I mean, I'm in remission, but it's still, it's a horrible word, that word, see. You never know when it's going to come back, when it's going to come knocking on the door and say, hello, I'm back.
But you've been having your checkups and everything's been
I have my
fine.
checkups, everything's been fine, yes.
And you feel good about it?
I feel good about it, and I would say to anyone, please, please, go and have your tests. I know it's not nice, it's a horrible thing to talk about poo, but please do it. It could save your life, truly. And you might not have to have a bag if you catch it early.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it?
Catch it early.
And I mean, when I have my guests on the show, what I ask them to do is to look down the camera and actually leave a little message. So, and I know that was a really good message to send because, you know, it's something that I also spoke about, that how important it is to go and do all these testing, no matter what they are. Like, okay, we all say we're too busy. I'm too busy all the time. But, you know, don't be too busy because that could mean the difference between living and dying, really.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
So, all right, let's just say that there's someone out there and they're watching this show tonight and they're maybe at the first stage, you know, of cancer, bowel cancer, or maybe they've just gone and got their tests and they haven't got the results back yet or whatever. But, or there could be someone sitting there that's got the results back and they're living with it and they haven't gone to that next step yet. They're waiting to go to the specialist. So what would be a message that you'd like to leave them? You can just look down that camera and have a little chat to them for a minute and just leave them with something, you know, that you'd like to tell them.
All I can say to anyone out there that's had their result and they've heard it's bowel cancer, don't despair. I know it's hard not to say that. You will cry, you will say, why me, why me? You will kick the walls, you will be so angry at the world. Get over that step. You have to do that step, I know, because I did. But once you move on, you can see there is a happy ending. There are people out there to support you. I mean, I'm quite willing, if anybody wants someone to chat to, I am quite willing to chat and have coffee with you. I have been there, I'm a survivor, I'm a fighter. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't live in my body. It's gone. I threw it out at the universe. You must be very positive. Do not give it legs, because if you give it legs, it has won. Cancer has won, and we don't want it winning. Be strong, and I know that's hard to say. Be strong. Rely on your friends. Tell them all about it. Cry if you must cry. Don't bottle it in your. Just don't bottle it in yourself, because it festers. It's not healthy. Truly, it is not healthy. You need to talk about it. explain your emotions and how you feel. And it's really good if you can speak to someone that's gone through it, because they know basically how you feel and what you're going through. They know how you feel because you have a bag. I know that. You don't. Just talk to someone, please. Don't put it on the back burner. Go and have your tests. I know it's not a nice thing to have done, but just do it. We're all survivors. It's a horrible word. I want to see everybody's smiling face wherever I go. We're survivors. I don't know what else I can say, but like I said...
Beautiful. It is, and it's from the heart, I know. And, yeah, well, I think, listen to what Brenda's got to say. Like, it's really important that you do something about it. Just, no matter what in life, never give up. That's, my catch cry. And, do something about it. Go and get your test done. Even if you're feeling a little bit, unusually sick, go and do something about it. Don't think that, you're wasting people's time or whatever. You're best to be safe than sorry. And the other thing is prevention is better than cure.
Definitely.
So, get yourself along to the doctor. Go and get your test done. And that, government testing that's sitting in your cupboard somewhere on the bottom of some drawer, go and get it out and do something with it. Don't leave it there. Just go and do something with it. Yeah, so it's a horrible, insidious disease, cancer, and we hate
awful.
every single part of it, and no one wants to live with cancer. So we're saying goodbye to cancer.
We are saying goodbye to cancer.
We sure are.
Yes.
And
the bowel cancer one is an apple.
An apple.
An apple. A red apple is the bowel cancer symbol.
Oh,
an apple,
okay.
A red apple.
All right. Okay then. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Well, there you go. Mm-hmm. So each and every week I have the most amazing people join me. And Tricia Hoffitz and Shireen Lowe. Oh, look, Queensland. Hi, guys. Amy Crossan. Now, Amy was with us last week, and thank you for tuning in tonight. Louise Pearson, thank you so much, Louise. Margaret Moffat, Jennifer Corrison Auld, Susie Juno. Hi, Susie. She's another cancer sufferer. Yeah, and she's beat it. Good on you, Susie. Peter Hugg and Lyndall Dixon. Thank you so much for joining us. Just some of the people tonight that I've been able to thank. So, just one thing I want to say, no matter what in life, don't give up. Never give up. That's it. Stay strong.
And if you want to do a coffee with me, I am quite happy to have a coffee and a cake with you.
Well, there you go. And a cake. You're allowed to eat
cake?
Yes,
I'm allowed to eat cake.
Oh, there you go. Coffee and cake. You can have coffee and cake. So, everyone, I'll see you next week, Wednesday nights, 7:30 on Facebook. If you want to send anyone to have a look at our interviews, you can send them along to onthecouchwithkelly.com. There you can see all the interviews and you can read a little bit about us and what we're doing. There's some great little surprises for the new year, everyone. I can't wait to share it with you. So you'll just have to wait for the new year. So no matter what, don't give up and know that you're going to be okay. Bye for now. See you next week.
Hooroo.